The Paradox of Choice by Barry Schwartz was written in 2004. Paradoxically, happiness may lie in limiting our choices rather than increasing them. After millions of years of survival based on simple distinction, it may simply be that we are biologically unprepared for the number of choices we face in the modern world. This is a surprising result since we would assume the greater choice makes us feel better about the choices available. It is a form of power. In fact, when offered less choice, we seem to be more satisfied with what we are given. The author says that this indicates a particular type of anxiety found in rich, developed nations, that is too much choice can adversely affect our happiness, since it does not necessarily mean greater quality of life or more freedom. In the world of work, while our parents may have spent their whole career with one company, today's generation routinely change jobs every 2 to 5 years. We are always on the lookout for something better, even if we are relatively happy in our current positions. The chances of making a correct decisions most of the time are pretty low. The consequences of some mistakes may not be great, but others are. Choosing a marriage partner, for instance, or which college to attend will shape our life. The more options we have, the more is at stake if we make the wrong decisions. Our reasoning become, if there are so much choices, how do we get it so badly wrong? Author highlights three effects of the mushrooming in our choices and options. Each decision requires more efforts. Mistakes are more likely. The psychological consequences of those mistakes are great. Given that we often make wrong decisions, and given the sheer number of decisions we need to make, surely it would make more sense to seek what is good enough rather than always seeking the best. The author is fascinated in his division of people into maximizers and satisficers. Author wondered, given the effort they put into choosing, do maximizers actually make better decisions? He found that objectivity the answer was yes, but subjectivity it was no. By this he means that maximizers may arrive at what they believe is the best available choice, but the choice will not necessarily make them happy. They may get a slightly better job with slightly higher wages, but they are unlikely to be satisfied with their position. Studies show that maximizers are generally less happy, less optimistic, and more prone to depression than their satisfying cousins. If you want more peace of mind and life satisfaction, be a satisficer. In the last 4 decades, author notes, Americans' per capita income has doubled. The number of homes with dishwashers has gone from 9 to 50%, and the number of those with air conditioning has increased from 15 to 73%. Yet there has been no measurable increase in happiness in the same period. If you lived and worked in a blue collar neighborhood with all your friends in the same boat, you may have been pretty happy with your lot. But with the advent of television, the internet, and so on, we have an enormous pool of other people to whom we compare ourselves. Even if we are relatively well off, there are always others who are richer. These are what author called upward comparison, and they tend to make us jealous, hostile, and stressed, and to lower our self-esteem. The downward comparison, in contrast, involves us noting how fortunate we are compared to those who have little. Such comparison boosts mood and self-esteem and lower anxiety. Simply saying to ourselves every morning and every and evening, I have a lot of things to be grateful for, and thinking about them brings us closer to reality and increase our happiness. Grateful people are healthier, happier, and more optimistic than people who are not.